Aloha, and how's it? Today, we're talking all about what it really takes to get the results that actually grow your business on LinkedIn. So, more on that in a moment. How was your weekend? Do you notice anything different about my background? I now have an audio video room dedicated to making higher quality videos and podcast recordings. Plus, in case you hadn't heard, I also just relocated to the Chicagoland area from Hawaii. So, next up on my to do list is to get a very thick wetsuit and learn how to surf Lake Michigan. So, I don't know if that's a New Year's resolution or just get out there and adventure a little bit, but whatever that is, I'm excited. So, have you checked out the latest episode of the Mango Effect podcast this week? It's all about what it's like to move back to the Midwest after living in Hawaii for almost 4 years. Plus, my brand new appreciation for same day shipping, which, come to think of it, never happened in Hawaii. So while you're there, check out all 50 episodes about creating a life you love, being a digital entrepreneur, figuring out how to live in rhythm with nature, learning to surf, doing life your way, and more. Now it's time for Mondays with Mindy. This is a weekly show on, you guessed it, Mondays, where I talk about all things LinkedIn, pipeline, promo, and profiles, what I call the 3 Ps of LinkedIn. So, do you have questions about LinkedIn that you want me to answer? Be sure to like this post, whether you're watching live or from the replay, and leave your questions below, and I will answer them either after the show or on a future episode of Mondays with Mindy. Let's get to today's topic. It's all about how you can start getting tangible results from your LinkedIn efforts without buying into the hype or spending hours a day trying to social sell your way to the top. And first things first, I apologize for the voice. I know I sound a lot different and very nasally. I'm getting over something, but this is a live stream, so we're doing this live. All right, so a lot of experts looking to use LinkedIn to generate leads for their business often come to me to troubleshoot. And maybe you felt this way too. They spend a lot of time posting content to their newsfeed. They spend a good chunk each day poring over other people's content to add insightful comments. They also send a lot of connection requests to people they'd like to network with. But they're not getting the results they actually want. Instead, they are getting bombarded with salespeople or other consultants trying to sell them something. So tend to get pretty discouraged and say that LinkedIn's not working. It's a myth that you can actually build real relationships that lead to business growth here. So why not go back to Instagram? Start hustling in the DMs, aggressively following and unfollowing people. Or maybe it's still not too late for you on TikTok to get a quarter on the market there with a viral dancing to the music video. Or my favorite right now are cute English bulldog puppy videos. I have so many of them bookmarked, it's insane. So, a lot of self proclaimed social selling experts in my space like to promise that it's really simple. It's really simple. It's really easy to grow your business on LinkedIn if you just use fill in the blank with specific tactic here. But what they don't often explain very well is the order in which you need to put together your tactics before they're even effective. So you have likely been doing a lot of the right things, but there's probably just a situation with the order in which you're doing them to get the results that you want. So, first of all, I want to say congrats for actually taking action on LinkedIn and trying some things. That shows you're willing to learn. You're willing to try, to fail, to troubleshoot, to figure out a better way to put together those skill sets you've already learned with a variation on your formula. That's not so bad, right? All right, you're already doing a lot of the things. It's just figuring out the right order. So, today we're going to talk about how to put together a winning formula that will get you the results you want efficiently so that you can focus on the right ones for you now and pocket the other ones for later because you may use them at some point. So, aloha, for those who don't know me, my name is Mindy Rosser. I'm the founder of Mindy Rosser Marketing, and I have a group program called the LinkedIn Accelerator for those who want to go from 0 to 60 on LinkedIn with their profile and their network. I will actually share the link at the end if you're interested and want to get on the January waitlist. We are kicking off the next LinkedIn Accelerator at the end of this month. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be a good one. So I help superstars who feel they are the best kept secret in their industry to become that go-to visible expert in their niche so they can get that next opportunity, grow their business, and scale their impact on LinkedIn. In this live, we are talking about the importance of getting results and doing things in the right order on LinkedIn so you can get more leads this year, so you can actually attract your ideal prospects and optimize some very important things that you're doing on LinkedIn right now. So, are you ready? Let's do this. I'm going to take another sip of water because I know I sound a little bit froggy today. All right, go ahead and like this post, whether you're live or watching from the replay, to give it some social love. So, maybe 2022 was the year that you decided to go all in on LinkedIn and really get serious about growing your business. If you're like many experts I talk with about using LinkedIn for business growth, it's really a mixed bag. So, category one, a small percentage, very small percentage of people are stoked because they hit upon a magic formula or they just happen to guess what they should do and get it right out of the gate. So, they're the ones we often hear about because they're excited about their success. But the problem is they're not exactly sure which part of their formula is working. So they're stuck doing all the things because they're afraid to stop because what if one of the things they're doing is causing their success? They don't really know. So they probably are doing a lot more on LinkedIn than they should be doing. And they're afraid to stop because they don't want to stop seeing that success. So if this is you, you're going to find today's session very helpful in figuring out what you can streamline this year because you actually don't have to do it all the time to get results. Then there's category two. This is what I would call the majority of people on LinkedIn. They are either just getting started, have no idea what to do next, or they have tried a lot of other social media activities across a range of platforms with little success. It can feel very frustrating because you've taken all that time to learn a variety of techniques, platforms, strategies, but putting them together is just not working out as you expected. The good news for you is that you already have all of these skill sets, or maybe you're open minded to learn them and can simply put together a better formula that will work for you long term. So, there, you aren't doing anything wrong per se, but you just need to find the right formula and figure out how to order the activities you are doing or no, you should be doing. So, let's talk about how to go about all of this strategically. So, let's talk about the different reasons you're on LinkedIn to begin with, as this will help you figure out a good formula for the order of your activities. If you're on LinkedIn because you want to find new leads for your business, you need to think about a few things before you start getting too aggressive with your outreach. A lot of people prematurely jump into lead generation or they hire someone to do it for them without understanding the basics of what they need to know first. It's not just about trying to do a bunch of tactics that get you leads. Rather, it's about approaching LinkedIn from the right mindset of doing business. Nobody starts a business and starts immediately pitching everyone they know, that's friend or family or an acquaintance, to buy their product or service. There's a process you go through to deeply think about which people would be a good fit for, that your business would be a good fit for, and then seeking them out, learning more about their needs in advance, and approaching each of them individually with a very unique message based on what you learned. So you cannot take a shotgun approach to LinkedIn and expect to see long term results. I know it's kind of sad, right? You just want to like do all the things and hope it all works. If you do, you will immediately damage your reputation on LinkedIn. You could also be labeled a spammer by your ideal prospects because they can see right through a sideways sales pitch. You think you're being really clever, and everyone else knows like that's not that clever. We know you're about to pitch us. And the people you do attract will be very low caliber, a little bit more desperate, and not the ideal people you'd want to work with, anyways. So you've got to play the long game on LinkedIn. And that requires patience and persistence with the right things and done in the right order. There is no viable quick win solution on LinkedIn. Hate to tell you, but if you can commit to a good 30 days, 30 days, 30 days to setting a foundation for success, you will win long term. If you're thinking, Mindy, but I want to get it done now, I want results, you should probably opt for paid advertising on Google, YouTube, Quora, Facebook, Instagram. This may not get you the level of leads that you're looking for, but it will get you quicker results. LinkedIn works when you know exactly what to do in the right order. I know I've said that multiple times, but it is a game. Learn how to play it instead of opting for a shortcut, and you will have a thriving business from your LinkedIn efforts 90 days from now and years down the road. I have clients I'm still working with several years since we started their program initially on LinkedIn. It just works. When you find a good formula and you're working with the right people, you jive and it just goes very well. So, how do you get the order right on LinkedIn? If you want to succeed and actually grow your business on LinkedIn, get to that next rung in your career, attract your potential customers, get a book deal, or land a spot on that interview show, you must learn how to prioritize and order the activities you need to take. The order matters just as much as what you're actually doing. So that starts in your LinkedIn headline, but it moves into your LinkedIn about section. Even if you can write a great headline, you must be able to craft a solid about section that speaks to your audience on a deeper level. So, number one, optimize your LinkedIn profile. Many of you who follow me will know I always start with this. Your profile has to be dialed. If you did not catch last week's live stream, check that one out. We talk about the reasons why your LinkedIn profile is so important. If you followed me for any length of time, you hear me hammer this home. Your LinkedIn profile. Everything you do starts with your LinkedIn profile. And that's exactly why I created my program called the LinkedIn Accelerator to help people dial in their LinkedIn profile for new opportunities. So nothing you do on LinkedIn will matter if your profile is not optimized for growing your business, getting new opportunities, and building new professional relationships. If you don't know what a good LinkedIn profile looks like and you want some pointers, just add a comment below and I'll shoot you links to 3 of my favorites. So just say, Mindy, I want to see the profile, shoot me links. So some people don't want to waste their time on their profile and just want to start lead generation. Big no no, big no no. This will prevent you from seeing success on LinkedIn. I worked with one client who simply had a suboptimal profile picture. He was trying to look really cool and he was smoking a cigar. I'm like, oh, and couldn't figure out why no one was responding to his messages or accepting connection invitations. As soon as we changed out that picture, his lead generation goals of getting 6 to 10 calls per month were back on track. It literally was his LinkedIn profile headshot. That was it. We changed nothing else. Sometimes we have to admit when we don't know what we don't know. So take care of your LinkedIn profile first. All right, number 2, build your LinkedIn network to 500 plus. Once your profile is optimized, it's time to grow your network before you do outreach. I know. It's another step in the process, but remember, the order matters. If you have a smaller network that's less than 500 connections, you have to pay really close attention here. You must get to that 500 number before you start actively prospecting. You can skip this and go ahead and just start pitching people, but your rates of acceptance and how many people are willing to talk to you will be much lower. If you have a very niche network, and you like, Mindy, I'm not going to get above 500. I want to keep it small. Okay, I get it. But still, ideally, you want to get above that 500 number. People start to trust you when they see that you are active in making connections. This shows you have credibility and also that you're not barely here on LinkedIn. LinkedIn users all look for that 500 plus number on a profile before many of them will accept a connection invitation or a message. So don't start posting content if you're not actively building your network and you haven't reached this 500 plus number yet. Do your best to ask everyone you know professionally and personally to connect with you to get to this 500 plus number. Then, once you're pretty close, you can start growing your network with prospects. I've actually had a few accelerator members who are brand new to LinkedIn and managed to get calls with high level prospects on LinkedIn below this 500 number. But the reason they did that was they spent a good amount of time optimizing their profile. So they focus on step number 1, which is optimize your LinkedIn profile. And they also wrote really, really good outreach messages that were personalized. So once you're over 500, it's a lot easier to send these messages and get them accepted. But if you're really good with your profile and you can write really great messages that convert, okay, give it a shot and let me know how it goes. All right, and number 3, focus on your outbound strategy. The big mistake for those trying to get new leads and grow their business is that they spend 80% of the time they do have writing or commenting on other people's content on LinkedIn rather than identifying and reaching out to their ideal prospects. If you have a smaller network, less than 5,000 people, you're going to get more results if you post less frequently on LinkedIn. Okay, I'll say that again. If you have a smaller network, so less than 5,000 people, okay, you're going to get more results if you post less frequently on LinkedIn and put all of that extra time into doing one to one messaging and sending connection invitations. If you have the time to do both, great. Spend about 20% of your time engaging in the newsfeed and posting, and spend the other 80%, literally 80% of your time finding new prospects and engaging in back and forth conversations inside your LinkedIn messages. This is the number one biggest mistake that people newer to LinkedIn make because they think that they can post enough good content to attract prospects to them. But that strategy only works well enough once you have built a network of thousands, ideally more than 10,000 people, and are well known in your niche. Then you can do less one to one messaging and more of a focus on writing content that resonates. Your biggest competitive advantage as a smaller business or as a consultant is that you can actually have one to one conversations with actual people. So the big competitors that you're so worried about cannot rival you there. Use this to your advantage, especially in the early days of your business. Takeaway: figure out your outbound LinkedIn strategy that is going to work for you and also fits into the time you can designate for prospecting and social selling on a weekly basis. This time is better spent than posting or engaging to try to get noticed. Those three tips, literally three tips, will get you started on the right path with growing your business on LinkedIn. And you're going to notice a huge shift in the number of conversations you will have with your ideal clients or customers as a result. So, number one, optimize your profile for growing your business. If you want more details on this, watch last week's live stream and I talk about your profile. Number two, grow your network. So you really want it to be a respectable size, ideally 500 plus. And then number three, spend more time in your messages, less time in your newsfeed. So more outbound and a little bit less inbound. So what additional questions do you have about getting more prospects with your LinkedIn profile? Leave them below in the comments or shoot me a private message. I'm happy to answer them. And if you're ready to get started with growing your business on LinkedIn, take the next step to optimize your profile once and for all so you can start getting new leads or land your next opportunity this year. Join me inside the LinkedIn Accelerator. It is happening later this month, so literally just a couple weeks away. Inside the program, we address the first two steps that we talked about today, plus a bit more on the messaging strategy you need to start getting new leads. So I will see you all next week on Mondays with Mindy. Hopefully my voice will be a little bit better and not so scruggly. So feel free to leave questions or comments below, and my inbox is open if you want to message me directly. All right, I will talk with you all then. Have a beautiful rest of your week.